You guys ready for a little rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First up, well, we can start with Anthony. Who's your favorite golfer to watch currently and why?
Jordan Spieth. Why? I love the banter between Jordan and Greller. Yeah. Probably some of the best golf to watch. And I know there's other golfers that, have at times have their conversations with their caddies, but there's nothing like a struggle round for Jordan and him and Greller going back and forth. I mean, it's great. I just love hearing the thought process that he's going through, and then when he's talking to Greller and the two of them are having a conversation back and forth, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some of the same thoughts, right? But I don't have a caddy to talk it out with, and he does, and then it just makes for great television.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna steer away from who's the better golfers, right? Because especially like a Scotty. Scotty's not fun to watch, right? It's fun to see how well he plays, but from a watchability perspective, not really. I like the funny color animated guys, right? Your Max Homas, Ricky Fowlers. Anthony always likes to say that I'm Harry Higgs, but and even your Tom Kims, right? Like those guys that are kind of bringing a little bit more energy and taking a little stuffiness away from golf. I always love watching that.
Cool. Real quick before we go on to question 2, because I forgot to mention this to you guys earlier. So we're coming up on the PGA Championship, and I know next year it's right down there by you guys in Newtown Square. You guys ever been to local tournaments before, or the major?
I haven't been to a major, but I've been to a local tournament. Went to the BMW Championship at Aronimink. Oh. Nice. Where the PGA Championship is going to be next year.
Yeah.
Fantastic event. It's one of the playoff events, so a little bit more elevated than a regular tournament.
Yeah.
And the course is incredible. How about you? Have you ever been to local event?
So not last year PGA, but 2 years ago it was up here in Rochester at Oak Hill. And so Gary and I went out for that. We went out for a practice round. And I got to say, the practice round at the major, seeing a high-level course like that with it being a major. But we did the, all-inclusive. It was $75 for the practice round, but it was, any food, non-alcoholic drink you wanted for the day. And we were there, 14, 15 hours. And the players are so much more relaxed and, getting to chat with them and stuff. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, we went on Saturday to the event, and there's not much chatter going on, right? It's just these guys are just locked in, and watching their process is it's just something none of us ever see when we're golfing, right? They're just locked in. They're having these conversations with their caddy, and then it's just go time. Yeah, and when they hit a ball, it's something totally different. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen some great players around us, but nothing like that.
Yeah, and I haven't been out to any yet. I'm sure Anthony's going to drag me to one soon, probably this year.
Working on.
I'll just throw this out there. In the event that anyone from the PGA is listening, if you want to dig up a couple press passes for Basic Bogeys and Golf 215, I'm sure we could do some dynamite crossover coverage for this year's Ryder Cup. So,
absolutely.
Bro. We can make our way down to Bethpage.
That's been on my list to get down there because as New York residents, I think it's $85 for us to play it. But
now, is it any easier for you guys to get a tee time? Because we went through all kinds of hoops last year to try to get one.
No, it's just cheaper because it's technically a state park. But that's been on our list to get down there for a weekday in the summer. Because some other guys in our foursome are teachers and they're off. But that's a big one on our list because we had looked at tickets for it, but they're just absolutely ridiculous.
What was the problem we ran into last year, Anthony? I know we were trying to get in there. Was it?
Well, we had one day.
Oh, we had one day, and it was a Monday when
on our way to Cape Cod. That's the issue that we ran into. But it does sound like a good middle ground for Syracuse and Philly.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Next up, we'll go Joe first on this one. If you could switch places with one person for 24 hours, who would it be?
Oh, man. Any person?
Anybody.
I can get dangerous with this. One person, 24 hours. Oh man, I just want to keep this family friendly, right? Because I could go with like who's got the most attractive wife. I won't go that. Let me just get around. Let me just get around in a nice course, right? So I'll say, I would do it on. Wait, if you win a golf tournament, do you get paid like right there, or do you get paid like the next day? Because I want to make sure I got the check.
I'm pretty sure it's like
in 24 hours. I want to like maybe be on Sunday, but can I walk out with the check on Sunday too?
I'm pretty sure I've heard that it's like direct deposit on like Tuesday or something. I think Kevin Kisner always says that.
Then I want to be Scotty Scheffler on the Tuesday after the FedEx Cup check comes out.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a great question. Who would I
think I said Scheffler too. Scotty Scheffler.
I'm gonna go Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking along the lines of Joe at first, but then I'm like, to only get 24 hours, that guy just looks like he has a great time.
Yeah.
All of the time, even when he's golfing, he just looks like he's having a great time.
A couple episodes ago, we had Jordan from the Putter Shop on. He's obsessed with him. And we were chatting, like, obviously he's a great golfer, but like Shane Lowry's got it made because he's got all the money of a top 25 golfer.
Right.
But people don't recognize him. He can go anywhere and be under the radar and just do what he wants to do. Like that's...
I think the only telltale for him is the accent. Like if he didn't have an accent, he'd blend in everywhere.
Yeah, I kind of started becoming a fan during Full Swing. I mean, just watching him interact with Rory and all and seeing that friendship but just the way like he kind of goes about it, he's so I can never understand the relaxed having fun PGA guys and how they get so dialed in, but they're just so I'm out here having fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like I understand the Rorys, I understand the guys that can go out and they're serious and they work really hard at the game, but then you watch like Lowry, that's not to say he doesn't work really hard, but he just looks so relaxed and calm and he's having a good time and he goes out and hits a few pubs afterwards and then he's right back and playing golf. Like, that's the game for me.
Yeah, love it. All right, next up, what's your favorite club in the bag currently?
Currently. That could change next week.
It's a real difficult question for me right now. But
I'm going to go 7-iron. I have no rhyme or reason for that. I'm just hitting that club really well right now, whether it's recovering or in my approach. But 7-iron. And like I said, that could change really quick.
Yeah.
Too soon, Anthony. Too soon.
I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah.
So I don't have a 7-iron in my club right now in my bag because I had a little temper tantrum in our round on Saturday and launched my 7-iron into the hill, and I heard a blink. And I don't know if you're watching. Are you watching The Last of Us?
No, I've seen that.
Well, for anyone who is, my club snapped exactly like that. I won't say anything further, but yeah. So my real answer is probably my 5-iron anyway. Oddly enough, I really hit it well. So in a lot of those like longer distance, like par fives, I don't have a massive drive. So even on a par 5, if I have a great drive, there's not a club in my bag that's generally getting me to the green in my second shot anyway.
Yeah.
But my 5-iron's pretty true. So I'm usually able to pull that out and, give myself a nice little chip, to get on in 3. So yeah, I'm going to go my 5-iron.
All right.
Joe, I'm not shocked that you went 5-iron, but I'm a little surprised you didn't say putter.
Well, I got so many, I don't want to single one out. You
ever you change it out often, or?
I'm a marketer's dream, right? So I am not your typical golfer who's like putting poorly and then blaming it on the putter and going to get a new one. I just see a new shiny thing and I'm like, ooh, I want. And I just go and get a new putter. I purchased 2 new putters last year, and again, didn't need them. So, but when Vice came out with their putters, I'm a big fan of Vice. Like I play their balls. I like their balls. I think they're supremely underrated in terms of like their price point. And I just kind of like their whole setup, right? And when they came out with the clubs, I'm like, since I bought so much stuff, I was one of probably 10 million people that they sent an email to saying you can get these before we start selling them for like $50 cheaper. So sight unseen, they had never made a club before. I didn't care. I went and ordered it.
Joe, what hooked you when it said, "Hey, Joe, you can be one of the first people to buy this"?
Do we have a deal for you? So, and then at the end of the same year, I fell in love with the Odyssey Jailbird.
Oh,
and then they did a collab with Good, and 90% of my wardrobe is like baby blue, Carolina blue stuff anyway. So of course I had to pay for the upgraded version with all the Good, Carolina blue branding.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm a sucker. One of my golf goals for this year is to not buy another putter.
Yeah, that's what I use is the mini Jailbird. I have the old red one from 2017. Yeah.
But I tried. They're not that different, and I feel like the mini was closer to the height and size of the putter that I had. So I just stuck with the mini.
Well, yeah, if you're a big putter guy, that couple episodes ago, like I said, we had Jordan on from the putter shop. He's out of Dallas, and he's got new and used. He's got deals with I think it's Cleveland and Srixon, where he does like custom builds and everything too.
Nice. Well, Jordan, listen, do me a favor. Do not reach out to me until after December, because I want to make this golf goal, but I'll give you a call in January.
Next up, what is a hidden talent of yours?
Hidden talent. I guess not a lot of people now know this about me, but I don't know if it's hidden, but I play the saxophone.
All right, cool.
What?
There you go. I guess it's hidden. Yeah, I can play the saxophone.
Hidden.
I grew up playing it, and I really enjoy it.
Wow. Well, if you'd asked me this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have said poker, because I won a couple fairly large online poker tournaments. Nice. Now I can't even win in a cash game with 10 of my buddies. So I don't know if that's a hidden talent anymore, but yeah, I'll still say poker. But if I played as much now as I did back then, it'd probably come back around.
Yeah. All right, last one. What is a personal goal of yours for the golf game in this upcoming season?
For me, it's a continuation of one of the things I was working on last year, right? So when I started, I was so hung up on score. This is what I'm shooting now. This is what I want to be shooting. And I realized that that's a fine goal, but it's not the method to get there, right? So Anthony actually was coaching me on this. Like, I want to continue to get better at making good contact and focusing on one shot at a time, because that's going to get me to where I want with the better scores. But instead of like constantly worrying about things, like I just want to focus on this shot, make good contact. If you don't, immediately forget about it and go on to the next hole and make good contact on that shot.
I have a few different goals, but one that Joe and I were just talking about recently was being able to, at the end of this golf season, looking back and saying, am I at a better spot in my golf game, right? Mm. Whether that's striking the ball, whether that's scoring, meeting new people and growing our community, having fun. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. And from the outside, it might look like that my game is at a worse. But if I can turn around and go, that was a really great golf season, I feel like I'm at a better spot in my golf game, then I feel like I'm at a good spot there. So that's one of my goals.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. We 2 years ago, I had the goal of like breaking 80 for the first time and was able to do it. And then last year, we both played tournaments together, but really kind of focused on the brand, that like networking type of thing. And like, I feel like both of us kind of, plateaued a little bit because of that. We're more focused on that than winning some of these tournaments, but it was certainly worthwhile with where we've kind of grown like our brand.
Yeah, I think for Golf 215, one of ours is that, right? Like growing our community. So it kind of goes in line with what one of our goals is, our personal goals.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying about that too, TJ, right? Because it's peaks and valleys, right? Like there's gonna be times where you're focusing more on the golf game and maybe some of the networking and like content capture and stuff like that, goes down a bit. And then you flip it around. And I think that's fine, right? As long as you're getting a good equal distribution. We ran through the same things, right? Like Anthony's better at it than I am, but like when we first started, we were trying to record everything on the course, right? Like every shot we took, we're setting up, and our games were struggling mightily because of it. And now the pendulum swung almost all the way to the other end, and we got to bring it back a little bit and find that happy medium. We got a couple ideas and a couple events this year where I think we're going to be able to do that. So hopefully we're able to get that moving a bit. But yeah, it's definitely a balance, right? And you got to strike.
Yeah. When I first started like my golf page, it was all I did it really just to like kind of document my swing and watch that back, and then it turned into like play a hole with me type things. And then we started trying to film it, and it was like, this is just a hassle. And then through GoPros and the cart cam, we had a couple of those go viral. Like one's up over 1 million plays, and it was like, now we just like, that's what we do. That's what we're good at. We can do it during tournaments. We can do it during fun rounds and still get that content out. Every now and then, turn it around for a shot, but
yeah,
that's where it kind of works, and it helps to kind of promote the audio side with the podcast and vice versa. But
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Anthony and Joe, thanks a bunch for taking the time to come on. One more time, just tell everybody where they can find you on social media, online, all that stuff.
Sure. So on Instagram and TikTok, we're at Golf215 Social Club. Online, we are www.golf215socialclub.com. And then you can find us on both Apple and Spotify for the podcast. But TJ, we'll have to have you and Gary come on and hop on one of our episodes. And we do two kind of formats. One like this one, like you guys do with kind of free flow, just conversation style. And then we do a happy hour format, right? So like when there's something coming up that's maybe golf adjacent or maybe not even necessarily golf at all, like we did one on the NCAA tournament, so the basketball tournament.
Oh, yeah.
March Madness. So it's not even always golf adjacent. Usually has elements of golf, but sometimes not. But yeah, we'll have to have you guys on for something.
Yeah, absolutely. Be a blast.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you for having us on. This was great. I appreciate you taking time to have us on.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. We'll see you in next week's episode. Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.